Hello everyone, welcome to Global Online Platform. Today's session is going to be very much useful to the student who are preparing for NTA UGC NET June 2024 cycle from the Commerce and the Management. In this video, we are going to cover the most expected MCQs of the Business and Statistics, and this is the part 2 of this unit. If you haven't watched the part 1, the link has been provided in the description box. After watching the video, you can go through with the link. Okay, so before starting our video, I will quickly tell you about the Global Online. So our new batch will be going to be starting from the 20th of the May, from this Monday. And here you will get complete course on the Commerce and Management. Here you will get daily live lectures, recorded lectures. If you miss any kind of daily live lectures, complete syllabus note in the PDF format will be providing to you, full syllabus mock test, and the more than 4,000 MCQ series with a detailed explanation is covered over here, and the PYQs with a detailed solution is also providing here. Here you will get complete paper 1 is free of cost if you register yourself for the paper 2, and for the register yourself for the paper 2, the Global Online provide you the 20% of the discount on the fees. So in this amount, in this 8,000 rupees, you will get paper 1 plus paper 2. Okay, and for more detail, the contact number is given in your screen. This is a WhatsApp only, and you can get in touch with this contact number. And how do you download the Global Online? So go to Google Play Store. Okay, search the Global Online, install the Global Online, then register yourself with your mobile number. Then go to the My Course and the search whatever the course do you want. And after registration, you will get all the contents in the very well format in the PDF or in the folders. And if, so you will get recorded and the materials from this folder, and you can recognize whatever the documents, whatever the materials you want. Okay, so let's start with our question of the today. That is first question: the while averaging ratio, averaging the rates and the ratio where the time factor is variable and the act being performed is constant, which one of the following measure of the central tendency is appropriate? Option number 1, arithmetic mean average. Option number B, mode. The theme, that is a harmonic mean, and the geometric mean, option number 4. Now, what is the question is about? You have to understand first the question very well. Is talking about the average. So what is the average? Average means where the all the data is divided by its total number. Okay, so that is the average. And for calculating the average, the central tendency, the measure of the central tendency is given. And in the measure of the central tendency, there is in two types. On the basis of the mathematic calculation, the mean we have to be calculate, and on the basis of the position or the location, we have to calculate the median and the mode. Okay, median and the mode. So here is talking about the average. So average mathematical calculation is comes under the mean. In the median, we have further we calculate the mean according to the arithmetic mean, as and from the harmonic or the harmonic mean, and then with the geometric mean. So how do we calculate the geometric mean? Geometric mean is calculated by the averaging the whatever the data is given, the summation of frequency dx divided by its total number. So what we are doing here is the average of the whatever the data set is given. What is the harmonic mean? Harmonic mean is nothing but it is the reciprocal. It is a situation where the individual value are the reciprocal relation with the need. That means the relation of the needs to the average. So the n is divided by its reciprocal whatever the number is given. Okay, so this is the formula. Then how do we calculate the geometric mean? With the under rooting of the arithmetic mean multiplied by geometric mean. So what the question is about? A question about the average. So the option number second, that is mode, is going to be cancelled. Now the arithmetic mean, we are confused about the arithmetic mean, harmonic mean, and geometric mean. Now the harmonic mean, the arithmetic mean is a simple average. There is a no relation of the rates and the ratio of between the variables. Okay, so there is a no time factor is also given. But in the harmonic mean, you can see there is an rates and there is an a ratio between the reciprocal of the amount of the data, and the time factor is also included in the harmonic mean. So that's why the option number 3, the harmonic is a harmonic mean is the right answer. Clear? So the harmonic is a right answer over here. Now the list, the next question which is in your screen, list 1 and the list 2 is given in your in this question. Now the list 1 is about the types of the test, okay, and the list 2 is about the subject matter of the problem. What are the problem the test will solve, okay. So now first of all, in this kind of question there is a pattern you have to follow. This kind of, there is a test, the test is divided in the on the two bases, on the parametric test and the non-parametric, on the non-parametric test. So let's classify these all the tests on the basis of parametric and on the basis of the non-parametric. You know that the crucial wall test is a non-parametric. It's a non-parametric test, ma'am. Okay. Z test is a parametric test. Okay. Then the ANOVA test is also parametric test, and the chi-square is a non-parametric test. Okay, so let's move toward the list number 2, the problems of the subject matter. So here the parametric test is given, the parametric test to compare the mean of more than 2 population group. So is talking about the parametric. So we have a 2 parametric, that is the Z test and the ANOVA test. Now the further he is comparing the mean. Okay, in the Z test we also compare the mean, in the ANOVA we also compare the mean. But now further he is talking about more than 2 population, more than 2 population. Whenever the word is used more than 2, so it is comes under the ANOVA. It comes under the ANOVA test. Clear? It comes under the ANOVA test. Now the list number 2, the non, that means C having option 1. Clear? Now the non-parametric test to compare the mean of non-parametric test. How many non-parametric tests we have in this question? The crucial volley test and the chi-square test. So in the non-parametric test, compare the mean. We compare the mean of more than 2 population. Again the more than 2 population, so it is related to the critical valley test. It's nothing but a H test. Okay, it's nothing but a H test. And you can see that the ANOVA test, the ANOVA test counterpart in the non-parametric, it is a crucial valley test, because it is a ANOVA test is a parametric test and the crucial valley test is a non-parametric test. But the further information, further the comparison is between the more than 2 population, and here is also more than 2 population. So that's why A is matched with our option number 2. Clear? Now then the next one, that is non-parametric test to the test of the goodness of a fit. Yes, the non-parametric test is remaining is chi-square test, and it is also known as chi-square is also known as goodness of a fit. So the D option having a 3. Clear? Now the remaining is, that is the test to difference to sample. You know that Z test is calculated between the difference between the 2 sample, not more than 2 sample. Okay, and the sample size is always be greater than 13. Okay, whatever the sample size is going to be calculated in the Z test, so it is more than 13. Okay, so according to this B having the 4th option. So what is that is A2. Now B4th, C1 and the D3. So the option number A is correct answer for this question. Yes, let's move. Yes, the option number 1 is correct. Let's next question, which is in your screen. Which of the following practical situation Poisson the power distribution can be used? So what is a power distribution? First of all, you have to need to understand what is a power distribution. So the power distribution is used to understand the independent event. So whatever they depend, which are not depend on the each other, that is an independent event, occur at a constant rate, within a given time interval, given the time interval, that is a power distribution test. So this power distribution test is given by the French mathematician. The name is Simon Dens Pau. Okay, Simon Dens Pau. Now The formula is very important for the power distribution because the question is already been asked from this area. Clear? So the power distribution, that is frequency of the mean, that is equals to, this is what we call, this is called a lambda. What is it? Is a lambda, and x is nothing but a mean. Okay, x is nothing but a mean, and the mean factorial, here is a mean factorial, and e is given, and the lambda is lambda, that is, it is a lambda. Okay, so the e factorial having the number, this is a fixed. Okay, you have to keep in your if you have to remember this, that is e is equals to, that what is the value of the e is 2.71828. Clear it? Now let's move on to the question, the power distribution, the practical situation where the power distribution is to be used. You know that there is a power distribution is on the basis of the interval and the constant trend on the independent event, the event which is not constant. And the one more thing, that is the power distribution is also having a small rate of occurrence, but that means there is a chance of their occurrence in the very little and very small rate. Okay, now that is option number, the statement 1 is given, number of the customer arriving at a supermarket per hour. So word is per hour is used over here, that means it is a given interval of a time, within a given interval time, in every per hour, and his customer is arriving at a supermarket. It is a, the customer is not a depend on the supermarket, he can go anywhere. So the events is also where it is, where the event is also an independent event. Clear it? So the option number A is correct for correctly used in the power distribution. Then statement number 2, the number of the typographical error per page in the typed matter. So per page is denoted a specific and the given time, within a given time interval. You have to so typograph the error within the time interval, that is per page. Okay, how many errors is happen in the per page, so it is also a power distribution. Clear it? So there is a very less chance that their error will be occur. Okay, then statement number C is number of the accident take place per day. Okay, on the basis, so it is also an power distribution. So there is an accidents will be happen in the very, the number of the accidents is it will be happen, it is having a very small number of occurrence. Okay, so this is an power distribution. Then the D statement, the dice throwing problem. So dice throwing problem, it's not a power distribution because we can throw the dice in the whole day. There is a no specific limit, there is a no specific occurrence, we can throw the dice in the whole day. Okay, so there is a no specific time interval, night within the time gap is given in this statement. That's why this is not a power distribution. Clear? Now the E option, the number of defective materials, say like materials, say blades, etc. packed manufactured by the good concern. So the number of defect happen in the blade manufacturing, it is having a very less, very small occurrence. That's why this is also an power distribution. So according to our statement, the A, B, C, and is the right answer. So A, B, C is the right answer. So option number second is the right answer for this question. I hope so you understand the concept behind of this, because this is really important. Okay. Now, yes, the again the matching is given. Why we have added more matching here? Because we cover a maximum and maximum concept behind of this. We can cover the maximum concept. The concept. Okay, now the Pareto distribution, the list 1 is given the application of narrative, and the list 2 is given about the statistical distribution. Now the statistical distribution is divided in the Pareto distribution, power distribution, exponential distribution, and the log normal distribution. Let's understand first this all the concept one by one, then we will go, when we will solve, then after that we will solve the this question. Let's understand. Here we are clear about the power distribution. What is power distribution? The occurrence of the things will be in a very small rate. Okay, that is a power distribution. Now, what is the Pareto distribution? Pareto distribution is known as the 80-20 rule. Why is 80-20 rule? Because the theory maintained that 80% of output 80% of output, what 80% of the output, and from the given situation or systematic system or determine the 20% of the input. That means if you take an input of 20%, you will get 80% of the output. So that is a Pareto distribution, and you have to keep in mind that is Pareto distribution is applicable in the capitalist economic. Okay, capitalist economy, in the capitalist economic. Clear it? Now the exponential distribution. What is about the exponential distribution? Exponential distribution show the distribution of the distance, time taken between the events. If the event A is occur, event B is occur, what a distance between, or what is the time it will take after the one by one A event is happening. Okay, so this is a kind of exponential distribution, and here the lambda and the x. So here the lambda represent, what a lambda represent the per unit time. Okay, the event one is lambda is taking the per unit time, and x represent the time per unit of time, and x represent the time. Now what about the log normal distribution? So log normal distribution is continuous probability distribution of a random variable whose logarithm is normally distributed. Okay, whose logarithm is normally distributed. That's why this is a log normal distribution. Hope you understand all the concept. Now let's move toward the our question. Now the Pareto distribution is what, ma'am? Pareto distribution is about the 80-20 rules, and the Pareto distribution is applicable to capitalist society. Clear it? So read the sentence one by one. The time interval between the successive arrival of the customer in queue. So, and the things that the next is distribution of the income property and the certain human ability is in the capitalist society. So the capitalist society, B is related to the Pareto distribution. So B having a first option. Clear it? Now, what is power distribution? The power distribution when the occurrence of the event is very small. So here is D option. You can see the distribution of the rare events. The probability of occurrence is very small, but the number of trials is very large. So this is nothing but a what? This is a power distribution. That means a D having a 2. Clear it? Now the movement of the stock price, distribution of income in social tier society. So what is that? What is that? The social tier, whenever the word is social tier is used. Okay, so the social tier society, it's about the it's related to the log normal distribution. Okay, it's related to the log normal distribution. Next one, that is a time interval. Is time interval is nothing but a where in the time, in the exponential, what we see that there is an A and B event. This event, the time interval between this event. So this is what the time interval between the successive arrival of the customer in a queue. Okay, so the A having a third one. Okay, so A having third, here is A having third, B having 1, and C having 4, and D having 2. So the option number 2 is the right answer for this question. Hope so you understand every concept behind of these questions. Yes, clear it and keep in your mind. Okay, now the again, ma'am, again the matching is given. No, this is not why this is the answer. Now, what if for the Poisson distribution, that is Px is equals to E. So, what is power distribution? We already seen the formula of the power distribution. So, what is the formula? We have seen that is a Pfx. Okay, the power distribution, either we write this is P. Okay, then here is, this is a lambda. Okay, lambda x, that means this is the mean. Clear? Divided by x factorial and E minus factorial. Clear? Lambda factorial, lambda. Okay, minus lambda. So what is it? This is where it is a mean. So here the mean is a nothing but a 7. Here is mean is nothing but a mean value is a 7. So in this the mean value is a 7. How do we write it? We write it this formula like this. P is equals to X is equals to the lambda is 2. Okay, lambda is 2 and the X is 7. Okay, the thing is the option number 7 is not correct. Here we can write it like this. The P X is equals to E minus 7. Okay, this is lambda. Okay, then uh 7 divided by 2. Okay, 7 divided by 2. So the mean is 2. The mean is 2. Okay, and the lambda is 7. Okay, lambda is 7. So the option number 2 is correct over here, not 7. Okay. Now, the sequence of the following steps in the process of estimating the demand equation using the regression analysis. So, the process of estimating demand, we have to estimate the demand in the market, and we are using the regression equation over here. So, what the procedure we have to follow for this kind of question? So first you have to understand the how the demand what are the procedures of to calculate a demand with the use of regression equation. Okay, regression equation. So the procedure of first of all you have to decide your model. Okay, after deciding the model, collect the data. After collecting the data, you have to create a regression line, and after creating the regression line you have to interpret then and calculate the result. And after yes, you have to check the validity of that model, how many time the duration of the validity of the model, and use that model for forecasting the future. And after that you have to consider whether it is working or not. So this is the steps of the regression equation which is follow in the demand. Okay, now we have to just first thing that is we have to move what we do, model specification, that is option number C. Then after that what you do, you after that you collect the data, obtain the data, that means option number B. Okay, don't need to read everything in detail, just speak the points, whatever the main point which we have want. Okay, now after that what we do the equation, we create a equation. Okay, that means D. And after that, after creating the equation, estimate the slope, that means estimating, predicting the future. Yeah, we have seen that is a forecasting. Okay, so what we do, estimate the slope of the coefficient, that means you have to do, that means estimating. And after that you evaluate your results, that means option number E. So according to this CADBE, option number A is the right answer for this question. Clear it? So option number A is the right answer over here. Now, which of the following are the measure of the central tendency and the measure of the location? You know that the central tendency is divided or the calculated by the two way, by the mathematical way or by the positional. By the position, or you can say the location. So in the mathematical way, there is a mean, on the basis of mean, and the position there is a median. Okay, and there is a mode. Okay, so this is a central tendency of measure of the location. So the option is very clear in front of us. So the mean, mode and the median, ma'am. Okay, so the option, the ACD, where is ACD? The option number 3 is the right answer, that is option number ACD is the right answer for this question. Then what about the range and the variance, ma'am? So range and the variance, these two things are related to the measures of the dispersion, and these measures of the dispersion is a range and variance is a absolute measures of the dispersion. Okay, so range and the variance is the absolute measure of the dispersion. Clear it? So the option number 3 is correct. Which one of the following statement is true? Let's go through with the statement. The first statement is given for a symmetrical distribution B1 is equals to 2. Is it 0? Okay. So what is about this symmetrical distribution? Here you can see that this is a symmetrical distribution. What happened in the symmetrical distribution? Here is ma'am A is equals to median and median is that means mean is equals to median and median is equals to the mode. So what happened? Here is a tangent line which is touched to the 0. So the data is divided in the, this is the negative side, this is the positive side. So the B1 is equals to 0. This is a none of about this is the B1. So the option number 1 is the right answer. It is a true. Now, next move toward the option statement number 2. Kurtosis. What is kurtosis? Ma'am, kurtosis means the which kurtosis means lack of symmetric. No, lack of symmetric is it's where we see the lack of symmetric in the skewness, in the skewness. Okay, so what is kurtosis, ma'am? Kurtosis show the thickness and of the flatness of the distribution of the data. So kurtosis is the flatness and the thickness of the distribution of data, and the lack of symmetric is showing the skewness. So the option number the statement number 2 is incorrect and the option number 4 is also incorrect. Now, what is about the option number statement number 3? Statement number 3 is B2 can be negative. No, ma'am, B2 is comes over here. So the right side of the distribution is always be positive. Okay, so how it is will be negative? So the B2 is always be positive, not a negative. Clear it? So according to this question, the option number 1 is our right answer. Here I will already give you in the graph, that is a skewness. A skewness is that means there where you see that there is no symmetric distribution. Okay, the data is either be toward the left side. When it is the left side, that is the positive skewed, and when the data is on the right side, then it will be negative skewed. What is about the kurtosis, ma'am? The kurtosis is the peakness. Here you can see there is a peakness in the data. So the diagram is going to be very highly peaked distribution. So it is a leptokurtic. When the data is a normal, then it is a mesokurtic, and when the data is a flatter, so it is a platokurtic. Okay, so this is kind. So next question, which is in your screen. If two regression coefficient, that is a 0.8 and 0.1, which of the following is the rules of the coefficient of the correlation? Coefficient of the correlation, that means R, madam. Regression of the coefficient, that means this is either it is a bxy or the byx, ma'am. Okay, so what is the formula of the coefficient? That means R having the under root of bxy multiplied by byx, ma'am. Clear it? Now the under root of bxy, that means it either be 0.8 or multiplied by 9. So after solving this, we will get option number 4. That means 0.84 is the right answer for this question. Clear it? Now, next question. Here you can see the right answer. Next question. The coefficient of the correlation having the value of the positive 0.87. So this sign, what this sign is show? This sign show that is there is a relation is positive. So where we'll get a positive? Here we will find a positive. Here is a extremely weak. No, there is an positive. Yes, here we also get a positive. So the either the option number A, ma'am, or the option number 3, ma'am. Now let's understand the concept behind of that. There is a diagram is or the table is given. You can understand the things very well. The degree of correlation, it either be positive correlation or either be negative correlation. But how much? When it is a positive, and when with how much degree they having the relation. So if the perfect correlation is happen when the data is, ma'am, 1 perfect, everything is perfect, that means 1. If it is positive, then it is plus. If it is negative, that then it is a minus. Okay, then when very high degree of correlation, very high degree of correlation, so what happened? Then it is a 0.1, ma'am, 0.9, ma'am, and if it is positive, and if it is negative, then it is a minus 0.9. Fairly high degree of correlation when the data is between the 0.9 to 0.75. Okay, If it is positive, then positive sign you can see. If it is negative, the negative sign you will get. Okay, then in the case of moderate, the data is between the 0.25 5 to 0.27, and the low degree of correlation, the data will be on the between the 0 to 0.25, and there is a possibility there will be no correlation, there will be zero correlation. The answer will be zero. It is happened in the correlation. So correlation is also having a zero correlation. This question is also asked in the many questions. So what about the question is about the having if the data is 0.8, so it is a strong correlation, and the sign is positive, so the positive correlation. So option number 1 is right answer for this question. Now the next question which is in your screen, arrange the following steps involved in the research process to carry out orderly and the systematic research. So what we do for doing research? First of all, for research we have some problem, that's why we are doing the research. Yes, so ma'am, first of all research the problem, researching for the problem, what is the problem we have. Okay, after that we hypothesizing that this problem is valid or not. Okay, so they formulating the hypothesis, that means C, then A. Okay, after that, after hypothesis testing, we are decided that which kind of research design we have to use in this hypothesis. Okay, so what we decide our research design. Okay, so what we do the option number the statement number D. Okay, and after deciding that, we collect the data. Okay, we do not understand this, we do not designed we do not collect the data without deciding the design of the research. Okay, we have to first we have to decide, or many of the students get confused in this, because first the things you have to do, that is prepare the research design, and on the basis of that you have to collect the data, and last thing, that is interpreting the report writing, that is E. So according to this, CADBE, the option number CADBE, the option number 2 is the right answer for this question. Clear it? Now again ma'am, again you have to the matching. Why you are doing this? I'm doing this because of we cover the maximum concept to clear. Okay, so now the yes, list number 1 is given about the statistical identity, and the description is given where we use it. Okay, so let's understand the power of the test, standard of error, and p value, and the f test first. Okay, what is first understand the power of the test. So what is the power of the test? Here is a power of test, that is here we need to create a chart. Why ma'am? Because he is related to hypothesis, is related to hypothesis when hypothesis is true, or when hypothesis null hypothesis. Okay, null hypothesis is false, either we accept it, either we reject it. To Okay, so when the null hypothesis is true and when it accepted, it is a 1 minus alpha. 1 minus alpha. And if the hypothesis is true and we're rejecting, this is nothing but a type 1 error. What is it? Type 1 error. Okay, and if the hypothesis is false and we accept it, okay, so this is a type 2 error. What is it? It is a type 2 error. When the hypothesis is false and we reject it, is nothing but it is a 1 minus beta. So you have to understand the type 1 error is denoted by the alpha, and the type 2 error is denoted by the beta. Clear? So here what happened, this is when you're saying that anything is false and you strongly say that you have to reject it, or strongly say that this is a false, is a false. That means it is having a power. Very less people having a power, less people having a guts to say false is a false. Okay, so that is the power of test. Okay, you understand this? Let's move to it. That is the power of test is what the probability of test will load to reject the null hypothesis when it is a false. Matlab, that means here is a rejection, we reject when it is a false, that is having a power to reject. What is a false? That is a false. Whatever is right, that is a right. No, that what is the false? That is the false. So this is the power of test. So the power of test A is matched with the fourth point. Now let's move on to with the toward the next concept, that is the p value. So what is the p value, ma'am? P value is calculated on the basis of the significance level. Okay, p value, that means probability, is calculated on the basis of the significance of a level. What is significance level? Significance level is nothing but it is a type 1 error. It is a type 1 error. Okay, so here the p value is related to significance level. So here is p value. So what about the p value? P value means the maximum level of significance at which the null hypothesis would be accepted. That means we have a maximum level of significance to prove that null hypothesis is true. Okay, so this is nothing but the p value is having the level of significance. Clear it? Now what is about this standard error? Ma'am, standard error is a standard deviation of its sample distribution on the estimation. So in the simple word, you have to connect standard error, standard deviation. Why it is, ma'am? Because what is standard deviation? Standard deviation, that means this is a mean. So the data is how much is dispersed from the mean value, that is a standard deviation. And what is it? Whatever the difference they have, this difference is having a standard error. We have this error, that's why our data is a dispersed from the mean value. Okay, so standard error is related to the standard deviation. So the standard error is a standard deviation of the estimate from a sample. So standard error is related to standard deviation. So the B is having the option number 3. Okay, and after that, what is the F test? F test is what? The F test, any statistical test used to compare the variance. Variance means standard deviation square. Okay, of the two sample of the or the ratio of the variance, either to compare, either to take a ratio of the multiple samples. Okay, so this is the F test. So F test is to calculate the regression equation. Okay, in the regression equation we calculate the regression equation, and after that we plot the value of the x and y. I think you have to understand, if you have seen my the theory lectures, so you can understand this. So after that, the regression equation is created, line is created, so that we draw the equation line. So many of the samples we will take over here. So that is why the F test is a test of the level of the significance of the regression equation. So for the D is a 2 is a right option. So yeah, here you can see A is a 4, B is a 3, C is a 1, and the D is a 2. So the option number 2 is the right answer for this question. Okay. So let's move toward the next question. No, here is the end. So thank you so much for your attendance and your interest. Okay. Thank you.